I mean,
yeah. It's getting boring now. Now you have the likes of Odunayo Adekuroye, Aminat Deniji, Amas Daniel, Blessing Oborodudu. These are the athletes that will be, they're good medalists, they qualified for Africa to actually go there. But the thing is, the international body is going to be responsible for feeding, transportation, accompanying fees, and air transport and no air transport, so feeding, ground transportation and accommodation. So what we want actually now is actually visa fees and also air transport to Azerbaijan. That's all the federation needs right now, and that's what they can get. So Daniel Gali is actually appealing to 1 million Nigerians, those that can actually help for the visa fee. You can help for visa fees for at least the 4 athletes that can actually go there, and also their flight to Azerbaijan, Baku precisely for the tournament. You just have today and tomorrow to do that, because it's starting on the 24th and it's going to end on the 26th of this month. How many days? Accommodation, they don't need that. Feeding, they don't need. Transport fare within the country, they don't need that, because the organizers are providing that.
All that,
it's just a flight ticket and visa fee. That's what they need to go for this championship. It's a sad one.
That's Cecilia. I mean, for the president of the National Sporting Federation to be, sending us an SOS, that says it all. It's a sad state of events for Nigerian sports at the moment, Cecilia. And the repercussions of this guys actually missing out from the games, from the events, it's not going to be good at all. They could get fined and they could get banned as well too, which is going to totally stall the development of the sports in the country. Daniel Gali is going to join us on the show, right? Yeah. And he's going to tell us a lot more about what is going on, what's happening with the wrestling team that are supposed to go for this championship in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Yeah. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, definitely. We are super. Now, asking you about Wrestling Federation, what's happening? Prospect of the team still going for this championship in Azerbaijan?
I honestly don't know what's going on. From every indication, it might be very difficult for the athletes to go. I'm still kind of just holding on to a glimmer of hope that something happens in the next few hours, because I'm looking at my time, and at about 2 o'clock, I may need to write a letter to the organizers in Baku and UWW and advise them that we may not be able to come, so that they don't bother reserving hotel rooms and coming to pick us up from the airport. But I must tell you, I'm not a happy camper right now, because it's a very sad situation.
How many people have you spoken with? Were you able to send a memo to the sports ministry, to maybe corporate bodies, to actually help before this SOS was sent out yesterday?
You see, when you have this kind of competition, where less than half of the funds you normally use to travel is expected of you, because the organizers are taking care of your accommodation, your feeding, your ground transportation, and even the competition due. So all we needed to do was pay transportation to go. And the ministry has been informed about this. Last year, we went to this tournament. We only had 2 African champions last year, Blessing Oborodudu and Odunayo Adekuroye. And it was not a problem. They went and competed and came back. So I wouldn't have envisaged a situation where I would now need to go and meet corporate bodies to sponsor a national team to a competition. So we never had any inkling until last week we started getting these indications that we may not be able to go because of lack of funds.
Okay, now, for you, each athlete, if they fail to go, they're going to be fined $2,000. Can we afford that? Because you can't even afford flights to go.
Well, that is what baffles me, because when we're looking at tickets, even after yesterday, tickets are just about $550,000. And you know that $2,000 is over 800,000 naira now. And I can tell you, Nigeria cannot afford to have the wrestling team banned, because we just have the Commonwealth Games coming up in 16 months. When you now look at the last Commonwealth Games, and out of 36 medals, wrestling won 12 medals, 1/3 of all the medals. It's impossible for Nigeria to go to any multi-sports games without wrestling. So obviously they are going to pay the ban. They are going to pay the fine. But how does that make any sense? If we cannot pay for 550,000 for somebody to travel, and we will be prepared to pay over 800,000 naira when the ban comes. It doesn't make any sense. Aside that, though, I think what is more worrisome is that in the Committee of Nations in sports, you become a laughing stock and you will not even be taken seriously. If we have any of our people trying to get on international boards, you might as well just say goodbye, because the international federation will look at you as not serious people. If you can't come to a tournament this prestigious, you are not only representing Nigeria, you are representing Africa. And every country is there now. Cameroon left this morning. Egypt is there, Tunisia is there, South Africa is there, everybody is there. Is Nigeria the poorest country in Africa? Those are the things that baffle me.
Now, let me ask this question concerning funding. I mean, I know every year there's always a budget for different federations. Did your federation get your own share of the money this year, the budget for wrestling?
Not a cent, not a cent.
There was no budget at all for all the programs outlined this year?
There are budgets and monies are approved, but you know what happens is the ministry, when you want to go to any tournament, you have to apply to the ministry, and if there are funds, they will release and you go. And in all fairness to the ministry, comparative to other federations, I mean, wrestling went to the African Championships this year. There are a lot of federations didn't go, maybe because they were not Olympic sports. And even in other sports, we at the minimum go to one tournament internationally. And so you consider yourself lucky if you travel once. But if we are going to have a serious team and talk about a team that's going to challenge for medals internationally, we should be looking at 4, 5, 6 times of international tournaments every year. So even at that, we're almost a joke. But to come straight to the point, the only federation that gets their monies appropriated to them because they operate as a parastatal, it's the NFA, the Nigerian Football Association. So that is the only federation that can assume responsibility for their teams and make plans about which one to go and which one not to go. Every other federation has to go to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and ask for funds. And if it's there, you go. If it's not there, if you can source for funds from other sources, you do. But some of us have been left high and dry. We've spent so much of our money in these endeavors that, frankly, I don't think I'm going to put any of my money into any of these endeavors anymore. Because the Nigeria Wrestling Federation is not the Daniel Egale wrestling team. I am also a human being. I try to do as much as I can for the federation, but if the people at the helm of affairs don't take that into recognition, then we might as well just sit down and look at each other.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Daniel Egale, for taking our time to talk to us this morning. Tomorrow, we'll definitely want to talk to you to find out if the money was gotten, and of course, these young people were able to travel for the championship. Thank you so much. We'll go for a break now. We'll come back. We'll talk more on sports.